We're going to move on to chapter 9, which is on topics of distort, warp, and content aware. So these are some cool tools within Photoshop that help us move pixels and replace pixels in order to make some realistic edits or some kind of funny edits. So the first tool we're going to learn about is Liquify, and we are going to open from the chapter 9 book files the image called Gentleman. And once that image is open, we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, to work non-destructively, we're going to turn this background layer into a smart object. So that's going to be the first thing that we do. And then we're going to apply the Liquify filter. So we're going to come up here to Filter and then choose Liquify. This is going to bring us into a new window, and it's actually going to be a bit different from what you saw or what you see in the book. So we have a whole lot of options over here, and we'll get to these in a minute. I'll maybe even just twirl them shut. I do have the preview on down here at the bottom, and we have a whole new set of tools. So I'm just going to hover over them briefly and think about them. We have the Forward Warp tool, Reconstruct, and Smooth. Those three kind of work hand in hand. We'll start with the Forward Warp. If you think of your pixels as kind of being maybe an oil painting, and you can put your finger in them and kind of smush the pixels or push the paint around, that's what this does. So it pushes pixels whichever way you are pushing in here. So I feel bad for what we do to this poor man. So that's the first one. And of course you can change your brush size just using the right and left bracket keys. We can also look at our brush options over here as far as their size, pressure, whatever. The next option down is Reconstruct, and this kind of pushes things back the other way, kind of tries to rebuild what you did. Obviously, I kind of took it a little too far, just giving him a soft perm now, I guess. That's an old reference, if anybody gets that. I don't know if you even know what perms are anymore. Really popular in the 80s. That's last century, by the way. And then this last one is the Smooth tool. And again, if we use this, you can kind of see what's going on. So, there may be places where using the Smooth tool after you've pushed some pixels around helps get back to what the look you were going for. So that's our first three. The next one down is Twirl Clockwise, Pucker, Bloat, and Push. Push left specifically. So twirl clockwise. I'm going to make my brush larger than his eye, and I'm just going to click and hold down. And you can see that we're twirling clockwise, obviously. If you hold Option, you twirl counterclockwise. I'm going to undo both of them. The next one is Pucker, and I'm going to make this fairly big. And I'm going to click and hold, and Pucker pulls things in. Okay, not good. Bloat does the opposite. Start bloating this back up. Oh, this poor man. And then the last one is Push Left, but really it's push left, right, up, or down. So it's kind of weird, but as you push and hold to the right, things go up. As you push and hold to the left, things go down. As you push and hold going down, pixels get pushed up. I gotta find a better place to show that. Pixels get pushed down or up, left or right, depending on which way you're going. So that is your push tool. The next one down is Freeze the Mask. And before I move on, I'm going to come over here to my properties, and I'm going to restore all. So we're back where we started. In this Freeze Mask tool, I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger. And if I really don't want his main parts here to be affected, I want to make sure his eyes and things stay in place, I can freeze that part. Then what I can do is take like the Pucker or Bloat tool, for example, and I can bloat, but you notice I'm only bloating parts that are not frozen. The next option is to thaw the mask or take it away. Make it a lot bigger here. Get this done quickly. So there, I did some damage to the poor guy. Again, I'm going to restore all. And then finally, I'm going to show you, obviously the hand tool works just like it does where we move around, and so does the zoom. But this last one is the face tool. And you might just as well as open this face aware Liquify. This identified one face. You can see as we hold our cursor around, areas light up. So we could grab onto some of these, maybe bring them in a little bit, bring his hairline down. So eye size, we can make his eyes bigger, right and left. Probably better if they're locked. Change the height, width, and the tilt. We can change the nose size. It's kind of funny. This would be a funny little movie. Mouth, more of a smile, less of a smile. Face shape, change the forehead, chin height, all sorts of crazy things. I'm actually going to show you later, I hope, after we update to the latest Adobe Photoshop. Hopefully you guys had a chance to watch the Adobe conference, the Max conference, and some of the cool new features in Photoshop 2021. One of them has neural filters, which allow us some really crazy things. So I'm going to share that with you later. I'm not sure that I want everybody updating right now. I have to think about this a little bit. I know the computers at school that we use for the in-person class, take a little bit of effort to update them. We need an administrative code, whereas at home, you're free to update whenever you want. So I'm going to try to figure this out and get us all updated as quickly as possible. So anyway, you can use this. This is obviously used, sadly, in the modeling world a little bit, where we make parts thinner and we tweak and we make models that are already thin even more thin. So all of these things can be done for silly reasons or for very intentional reasons. There's a photo on page 218 where they just use some of these tools to kind of give him a little bit of a more youthful look. It still looks like him, but it took away some of the distractions. So I'm just going to say okay here and show you that if you bring that back, there we go. So here's with our smart filters off, and here's with them on. So that, my friends, is Liquify.